everyone, welcome back to another installment of Easy with me, CZ. Cathy Zielske here, and I'm excited to share this card project with you. It is a little more involved, perhaps, than some of my past Easy with CZ cards, but the final execution is pretty clean and simple, and it's not that hard to do, so let's take a look at the products I'll be using for today's card. I've got the Chunky Heart Trio along with the Trio of Love. So a couple dies to start with. And I'm also going to be using a little bit of acetate. Just the Simon Heat Safe acetate. And some inks. Now here's what I like to do. When I'm planning a card, I stamp out samples of pretty much all the inks that I have. And in this way, I'm kind of thinking about what would be the best combo for my hearts. And this is the collection of color that I settled on. I'm going to add one more at the end, but let's get started with ink blending because the goal for this card is to have a background panel that fills the whole panel with a beautiful blend of rainbow colors. But here's the difference. I'm actually kind of going from right to left on this one rather than go right to left. I'm not going in the traditional order on the card panel because the hearts start up high and sort of extend down. And so I want to make sure that I've got a rainbow that's going to work. So layering down my color, and this is just simple ink blending. It does not have to be the best ink blending you've ever done, although once you go back and forth a few times with these positively saturated inks, everything smooths out and it dries beautifully. The next color in my rainbow is Cantaloupe, and I'm using all of my Simon Says Stamp brushes today. Love these brushes. They come in two sizes. I am using the larger of the two. Laying down that orange and working our way across. The paper that I'm ink blending on today, this is Neenah Solar White Classic Crest in the 110 pound. I use this paper a lot for ink blending, and yeah, it works pretty well. I'm saying. Now I'm bringing in the yellow. I love this color of yellow. If you're looking for a bright yellow, this is that color. It's a firecracker. It just like bursts onto the paper. I absolutely love the warmth and the boldness of this. So we're getting that down and moving on. Limelicious is my green choice. Love this color as well. It's just got a nice pop of bright, happy green. And I'm also making sure every time I bring in a color to overlap with the previous color. I brought in Seafoam at the end because I realized you got more room. So, you might as well do something. I also took a little piece of this Heavy Doodle tape. It's kind of like a Post-it tape, just so that I could hold my paper down and ink blend. This ink does have a higher viscosity, which means it stays a little wet longer, so it will show your fingerprints until it's completely dry. So that is why I'm not just showing off the mani there. Let me tell you, there's a rhyme to my reason. Wait, no reason. I think you know what I mean. Going back over to smooth out that transition between green and blue, and that is the panel that I was searching for. I've got a card base here. This is a piece of 11 by 4 1/4 cardstock, scoring it right at 5 1/2. And what I am going to do is pop this panel on, tape it down, because I want to cut a window opening out of both pieces at once. So I'm taping down the shadow layer for the heart set, getting that into position right in the center of the front panel. And then I'm going to run it through my Gemini Junior to cut it out. Sometimes when I have cut jobs that have to go through a few things, I love to use my Gemini. I also love that it's on this little tray, this totally Tiffany rotating design board. I'll say that 3 times fast, but it's great because I don't have to pick it up ever. I love that. Now you will see, as I pop this out, that shadow layer has now cut the window through both the pretty panel and the white card base. Next, I'll take the leftovers, pop that outline heart, and again, run that through so that I have the exact same rainbow pattern, but this one is going to be in the outline from the die set. Isn't that pretty? All right, moving on. You can see how that's going to look. I also cut out 2 more layers of the hearts so that I could build up a little bit of dimension. And now what I'm going to do is take a piece of acetate, and I've cut it down to be just a little bit smaller than this panel. I'm going to swirl on a little liquid glue here. This is Connect glue from Gina K Designs. I'm swirling it around there. And now I can glue down my acetate. I wanted to have this sandwiched between the card base itself and the pretty ink blended panel. Just feel like it has a very finished look that way, and there's no mucky muck when you open the card on the other side. Okay? Folding this down, I'm going to give that a good press. And now I'm going to glue on the colorful panel onto the front of the card. So again, swirling on some liquid glue. If you like liquid glue for this sort of thing, go for liquid glue. I decided to show you also at the bottom, you like tape runner? Go for some tape runner. This is the Simon Dot Runner, and it's wonderful. Yeah, whatever makes your adhesive dreams come true, follow those dreams. Now I'll bring in my Score Buddy. I like to do this when I'm lining things up. Push it into the corner, push that top panel into the corner and press. And just like that, that colorful panel is lined up perfectly on the card base. There was a little bit of schmutz at the bottom, and I'm going to wipe that away with an adhesive eraser off camera, but look at that. Now you have a see-through, perfectly sandwiched window. Next, I'll take my spray adhesive, flip over the pretty die cut and just one of the plain white ones, add some to the back. I love the spray adhesive for this. I am holding my breath, though, while I do this. You don't want to breathe it in, you know? Line it up. Wiggle them. There's a little bit of wiggle room, not much, and that's why I like this adhesive. It's fast and it sticks like a mother. Wiggle that into place, and once I have it where I want it, I'm just going to grab an acrylic block, put a little pressure on it, and let that stick. All right. Off camera, I'm going to cut the moi greeting out of some gold and a couple out of the white so I can build up a dimensional greeting for this card. I brought in some different liquid glue just because I like this little tiny pin tip on the Bearly Art glue so that I could just put little tiny drops all around my dimensional heart trio, and I'm just placing them right in that opening, just like it was meant to be, and because it actually was. Give that a little press, let that glue adhere, and then I've got a little bit of glue in a strategic location plus one foam square right there that I cut in half, and that's a thin foam square. The reason I did that is I wanted this to have the right dimension to pop this onto the front and look basically like it's floating in the center. Just hold that down for a second. The foam square gives the right amount of support, and we have moi. To finish this card, a few gold sequins, the confetti style. Boop. Just a little dab will do you in there, and boop. Just a dot. Boop. I love how they look like they're floating. Boop. Sorry, I can't not do it. I mean, I could, but it's not as fun. Boop. And crafting should be fun. And that is my finished card project. So the effect is this lovely see-through window, right? And when you open it up, it's very finished on the inside. See that? There's no mucky muck. It looks like, how did she do that? Well, you know, because I just showed you. There is a little mark in there, but I'm not going to worry about that too much because I'm so happy with how this turned out. You can find links to all the supplies used in today's card video below in the description box. We would love to have you become a subscriber to the Simon Says Stamp YouTube channel, and I will see you back here next month with a new installment of EZ with me, CZ.